who is watching all of your interactions with Big Daddies and Little Sisters, the sort of gatherer characters that follow the Big Daddies around and siphon Adam out of bodies. And every time that you take a Little Sister out of the ecosystem, she becomes angry, and because you're disrupting the status quo. For her, Rapture coming back to life and functioning as it did in her memories is very important. And so she watches you for a while, and then she comes and hunts you down. And she is kind of a literal hybrid between a Big Daddy and a Little Sister. The idea is that she is an ex-Little Sister, an important Little Sister who returned to Rapture, unable to kind of leave it behind, and put herself through the process of becoming a Big Daddy. But it only sort of half worked, and somehow her armor, was kind of custom fitted around her, and she is this sort of lithe, ultra kind of I guess dysfunctional figure that is powerful but unstable.
Even after all this talk, I felt I had really only scratched the surface of what Bioshock 2 really was. But having experienced Bioshock 1, that didn't surprise me much. The twist of the game is still hailed as one of the best moments in video game history, and much of the thrill of playing through that story was the experience of uncovering the mystery. But for the player who had already been to Rapture once before, and learned the sordid tale of Atlas and Andrew Ryan, would Bioshock 2 still remain mysterious?
I would say definitely the setting in Bioshock 1 was in fact the mystery. This time around, we're bringing you into locations that are informed by new ideas, and that in fact your entire identity is again a strong mystery with a touchstone that comes from the first game. Like I know what a Big Daddy is, but you definitely don't know what the player character is. He is a unique entity. And so our feeling is not only need the story be mysterious, it also has to be very unified with the kind of gameplay that you're dealing with. So we mentioned earlier that you've got the plasmids, and I think you asked about some of the tools involved. Well, in Bioshock 2, the plasmid system has deepened quite a bit, and this sort of reflects the fact that Adam, this genetic force, this sort of stem cell like material that has run wild in Rapture, is changing the city, and it's also affording new opportunities on the plasmid front. So the plasmids are deepening. Each time that you upgrade one of your sort of genetic superpowers, you get a new crazy usage, rather than just more damage or last longer. And meanwhile, you're learning how Adam has sort of affected Rapture since, and how the Big Sister is involved with all of that.
Yeah, I think also I think the most compelling mysteries this time around are, as Jordan said, it was really environmental mystery and who am I the first time, but I think this time around it's really the characters that you meet as you go through the game and how they're related and how they're to each other and how they are related to the city of Rapture that is going to be the really compelling mystery. And there are actually I think there are a handful of characters from the first game that actually are in this one, like Tannenbaum makes an appearance, and she's related to what's happening in the story very closely, and you start to learn about her and other characters that we can't talk about today, but that's the cool mystery comes from the characters and their relationship with each other and the world.
Yeah, we heard a lot from fans of the first game that they wanted closer involvement with live, non-spliced characters who were sane and could, that you could have a moment of respite, really, where you're dealing with somebody who seems coherent. And so in Bioshock 2, we've got a new cast of characters that you get to participate in those moments with and actually make choices about their fate, which allows you to affect the greater story in a way that we weren't able to do with the first game. We had the one central choice with Little Sisters, and we've got that again. We've actually evolved that quite a bit. But the choices related to the adult characters, the ones who are kind of more gray, are entirely new.
With that, Jordan and Hoagie left me to continue doing what they do best, building Bioshock. I had many more questions to ask them, covering just about every topic we had already touched on today. But I knew there would be plenty of time for that. They do work down the hall from me, after all, in a studio painted in brilliant green and blue, with a life-size Big Daddy and Little Sister watching over the entire team, waiting for them to complete the next epic journey through Rapture.